Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm at Productronica 2013 and I'm joined by Michael Brianda, who is president of DEK. Michael, good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by.
Hello, Phil.
Another week, another show. Here we are in Munich. I noticed on your booth you're promoting something called Print Lab. That's new here. This is the first time for that. What does that mean? What's that all about?
Print Lab. At DEK we have a lot of knowledge about print processes around the stencils and the screen printing. Mm-hmm. And we realized that many factories we're dealing with and supporting very well since many years have different ways to run the print processes and different focus points. Mm-hmm. And I'm still amazed how, some of those manufacturing managers kind of ignore the print process because it's so robust and stable and almost forgot the moment where they have to change component sizes, what it means for the print process. So they ask us, can you help us setting it up to the next generation? Mm-hmm. And that's what we can do, we like to do. And by doing so, we also learn a lot about the next generation of products. So setting up the process is for us the entrance into new product designs, and therefore we like it very much. We demonstrated by our print experts, the application people who are in the Print Lab on the show and want to discuss the next generation print process challenges with our customers here on stage.
Okay, and that's a two-way thing, and I think you've got some lunch and learn things going on. What kind of topics are coming up in those sessions?
Well, miniaturization, first of all. We are the pre-placement process, so the placement process has to be served very well. But when we talk about pre-placement, sometimes people forget that this is a post PCB manufacturing process. So we can't only focus on the placement side and ignore what happens on the PCB or on the wafer side. So we do both, and we're sitting in between, and whenever we are discussing with our customers their next print challenges, we want to help on both sides and want to learn what is it we can do to influence. And the knowledge about the paste, the environment, the knowledge about the stencils and the tools required to do a very accurate print process. We know a lot about it, but getting it all together in an easy to use fashion is what we want to help our customers.
Okay, and you talk about machines being robust. It's really interesting. I spend a lot of my time at your customers looking at their lines, and we see some DEK printers that are many years old that just seem to just keep doing the job. Is it some of those guys that you've got to reach out to and really let them know what they can add to that, what they can do to develop that offering?
That's a good point, and it's very true. We have, interesting enough, we have many customers who use the printers much longer than 10 years. And when we sold it to them, we thought 10 years is probably the maximum. Now, they are still very accurate and accurate enough, but now when they change into a newer generation, they also learn about the newest underscreen cleaning process, the newest dispensing process, and the newest stencil activities. If you put them all together, it can do things faster, more accurate, and more reliable on the process side. So making that change of generation in products is very important. And again, it's fascinating to us how much support is required to get there. Customers underestimate that it's great to have these new tools, but you also need to learn a little bit how to use them properly.
Skills. Yeah, and it gives them new efficiencies, but hopefully, particularly in the area of contract manufacturing, new opportunities, maybe markets or products that they haven't been able to get in until they've actually been able to refine those processes. Speaking of markets, talk a little bit about the electronics market. It seems to have been this odd year that started quite vibrant, bit of a hiatus in the year. What's it going to close out like?
Yeah, we saw it exactly this. It started very optimistic, and we had very nice projects with a lot of key customers around the world. Well, as you know, we are a truly global company and support all regions. We divide it in 4 regions like China, Southeast Asia, Americas, and Europe. I would say the later part of this year we see more activities in Americas in Europe versus Southeast Asia and China. Interesting enough, we feel our revenues will be very much spread, 30%, 40% Asia this year, which is kind of an interesting...
Yeah, it's a correction or a change going on in there.
It is a correction because we have seen for many years a hype and growth in the Asia region, and now it's much more balanced. Again, which is very important for us. Being a true global company, you have a service and support network which is active, and therefore we have this fantastic opportunity to help our customers no matter where they are. The year will probably finish on on an even level of last year. So we think we have met our targets in the areas we wanted to. Unfortunately, not. We'd like to have a little bit more growth, but we are very optimistic for 2014.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people predicting growth for 2014. And incidentally, what you say about that global correction, I think that's good for the EMS guys and good for the OEMs as well. It just this balance to the manufacturing geography seems to make more sense.
Right.
The other sector you're in is in the solar market. We've heard a lot of reports over the last 12 months about next year, maybe the year after, and they seem to be pushing out as we got through the middle of the year. Just recently, we've seen a bit more optimism start to appear there and maybe some real projects coming up. Is that reflected in what you're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of indicators. The top tier customers in the solar world now run 90 to 100% capacity. So it's surprising how quickly the picture is changing for them. They're not at the level where they want to extend the level of capacity yet. They need more, a more robust marketplace. Yeah. But supply and demand is finding its balance in 2014. We have many analysts helping us to understand that, and that's what they say. The quoting activity right now is pretty high. So we have our salespeople are very active explaining our equipment to customers who really have an interest to extend their capacity levels. And so we believe 2014 gets us back on track in the solar world.
Yeah, and we hope it isn't that maybe that bullwhip effect where the rise and fall becomes more shallow, because the last rise was meteoric, but the fall was painful too. So
that's true. I mean, the landscape has changed significantly. There are many more big players who have expanded over this difficult period of time, but much less lower players. So that balance is probably right now. Again, we see most of the activities are going to be in Asia, and it's likely to stay there. But then also we see, because this market likes to have efficiency gain on the solar cell efficiency side, and Europe is coming back. Europe and America's activity is coming back, especially for those high-end solar cells. Yeah,
and in terms of development, I guess while it's been quiet, you've been busy working on the next generation of equipment, and you're ready for that.
Absolutely, it's about print speed, and it's 3 times faster than what we experience in the electronic world. It is a screen printing process. It needs special expertise to do that. Yeah. And we have developed equipment which is on the very accurate but lower speed side and on the ultra high speed side. Yeah. So we are very well positioned to meet both ends of the market.
It's a challenging material to handle as well, isn't it? So there's a whole bunch of additional dynamics. Michael, thanks very much for the insight. Thanks for your time. Hope you enjoy the rest of the week, and I hope we'll chat again soon. Thank you.
My pleasure. Nice to see you again.
Thank you.